I've spoken to hundreds of engineering and security folks over the years, and there are a handful of common complaints that both groups keep telling me about. Engineering will say that security does not understand how apps are built. Why do security guys keep sending me reports after reports? Why can't they just raise tickets, right? Making it easier for them to fix bugs as part of their workflow. Security says that engineering does not really fix the vulnerabilities that have been reported to them. And this tends to be the primary cause for friction, or one of the primary reasons for friction between both teams, preventing them from working together. Now the thing is that with Agile and DevOps, the game has really changed when it comes to application development. Teams are developing apps at much greater speed and quality, allowing their organizations to stay competitive, right? Because in today's business game, you need to be releasing apps and new features as quickly as this. Unfortunately, security of these applications or security as such is an afterthought. Product teams do not associate quality with security. And for most of them, quality is more about the quality of the code, how well the app works, how intuitive the features are, etc. Now, on top of that, a high number of people say that they do security testing only once a year to essentially clear audits, right? So essentially doing a check in the box yearly audit, or only if their customer asks. So you see where I'm going with this, right? Security and development or engineering on the best days want to kill each other, right? And it's essentially making the product worse from a security standpoint, opening it up for newer and newer threats on a daily basis, right? So in this video, I want to help you figure out how to make these two teams, which really don't agree on anything, to make them collaborate, right? To help them work together to fix security problems once and for all, right? Step 1, make security testing a regular ongoing activity. You cannot expect a security engineer to walk in once a year, run some tests, and give you meaningful feedback, clear recommendation on what needs to be fixed. That may fulfill your once in a year annual audit and compliance requirements, but you know it's just not going to be enough with the number of releases that your product team makes, right? So in order for security to be effective, it needs to be a constant process, one that keeps pace with your release cycle, right? Software teams today are releasing new builds multiple times a day, and your security testing process needs to adapt accordingly. One of the best ways to increase your frequency of testing is by following, and that is step 2, bring down the silos in product teams, right? And involve security in designing and building your apps. Involve them in multiple stages of your application development process, right? Ask them to develop abuser stories to user stories. Let them draw up threat scenarios corresponding to application features. Get inputs on which controls need to be implemented during development of the application, right? Iterate, hash out what works and what does not. And development DevOps, for God's sakes, grant security access to the development pipeline. Collaboration will definitely not work if you ask the other guy to stand outside the door. Security teams need to have access to the pipeline so that they bring in their entire tool chest of scanners, which can be automated for continuous testing, checking for vulnerabilities at a higher frequency. And this brings me to step 3. When you implement automated testing in the pipeline, the foundation of DevSecOps essentially is security automation, which includes automatic, static, dynamic source composition scans as part of your application development pipeline, right? This means that you are testing the apps and the infrastructure a lot more frequently. Results are triaged by security, which means they are cleaned up for false positives, and they are prioritized and then pushed forward to developers, which essentially talks about the feedback loop. You are triaging the vulnerabilities, cleaning the results up, sending it out to developers as tickets so that they are retroactively fixing it as part of their releases. This, in the end, allows developers to fix vulnerabilities a lot sooner as part of their sprints. So therefore, just some level of access and openness to collaborate will make life a lot easier for security leaders and engineering leaders. Will essentially stop them from killing each other, which is a great thing in an organization, right? You will essentially tend to feel like a proud parent who has finally had their kids working together rather than just whining all the time that he got a larger piece of ice cream and you didn't, right? So therefore, essentially 3 steps that you need to achieve the overarching goal of collaboration, right? Now, if you want to learn more about this, check out our links in the description. There are a lot of resources that we have included there. My name is Bharat Kishore. Let me know what you guys think about my second video. Was it better than the first one? I hope so, right? Bye for now.